Hey everyone, Kubo here and welcome back to my Chrono Cross playthrough. Let's make our way to the Tower of Geddon. Very eerie, very ominous. And the second part of our Dead Sea adventures. We are in the center of the Dead Sea now, and yeah, this is where all the chaos is coming from. Insert Stranger of Paradise meme here. Yeah, so clearly something has gone wrong, time has melted, and we're in a very strange place full of turbines and pillars, and we are in the middle of a shopping centre. So let's make our way through and collect all the treasure. There is 2 new enemies here that I will do my best to run into. Both are quite unique. Oh dear, as I get rid of the phlegm. But we're going to pick up a feather here. And then I'm going to run into this mannequin. And you'll see what I'm talking about. 200 HP, yellow innate, and has some rather funky abilities. We'll start by showing off the fact that these mannequins will occasionally change their pose. And most of the poses are harmless. However, if you attack physically a mannequin with a pose where they're leaning forward slightly and their right hand is down, they will counter. So I'm going to try and show that off. Yeah, so right now this mannequin has that pose. So we're going to do a quick 1. And boom. Only when they are in that pose will they counter with this little slap fight. There's another pose as well that I want to show off. Let's go with Aeroblaster 3. I'm looking for one of them to put their left hand on their hip and the right hand to be down. I think that's the pose. Over there. Yeah, there it is. So when you use an element on a mannequin where the left hand is on the hip and the right hand is down, then they will counter with that element right back at you. So what we need to do, actually we're going to get Harley involved. Yep, looks like I was very unfortunate. The mannequins can change poses semi regularly. It's not like every 10 seconds or something. But once they have stopped doing a pose, they will be in like a neutral pose for like 5 seconds, and then they'll go back to what they were doing. Something else is that Harley has got this ridiculous level 7 ability called Lunaritic. She got this after we defeated the Highwayman. Now that we have attained 25 stars or growth levels, every character will either get their level 7 tech after a set number of stars, or after you get a certain item. In Harley's case, we just need a set number of stars. And there we go. Just wanted to show that off. Insane ability. Absolutely insane. Okay, so that's the mannequins. Nothing else that's really special about them. Let's go get some more treasure. There is a friendly Geos down in this little subway section in the bottom here, and I want to start talking to him or her. It's time, you must go, you will miss the train. I want that Geos to now start walking up, and whilst it's doing that, I'm going to pick up this Purified down here. And you'll notice we can go up here, but I don't want to go there just yet. What instead I want to happen is that the Geos will keep on walking up, and you'll hear that little noise. Once you hear that noise, if you walk up these stairs, you'll get this text hint that there's something on the ground. If you press A again after getting rid of that text box, while being in the same place, you will find the station pass. Now that we've got the station pass, we can go back up here I'm going to cross this train, go across the ruins here. We can now go through these gates. You could not go through these gates without the station pass. And we get access to 2 more treasure chests. First of all, we've got this holy light over here. And we've got this brand new area. And if we examine this chest here, we get access to a medical book, which gives us a level 7 tech for Doc, who we haven't really used yet. And we probably won't use that much. He's not that great. But anyway, that's everything we can do in this little side area here. So I now want to go to the next level of the shopping centre, and there are 2 chests we can pick up. The first one is all the way down here. We may need to dodge a mannequin. Perfect. And we're going to pick up the mithril there, which is another nice crafting. Although we're not going to craft that many weapons and armor throughout the game, but the ones we do craft are going to make a huge difference to what we want to do. Second thing I want to do before I go into that little cubby hole is I want to tell the elevator to go to the first floor. You may notice on that elevator there is a treasure chest that we would like access to. The only way to access that treasure chest is indeed to make it go to the first floor. And then we also need to go to the first floor, go here, and we will pick up a trashy tiara. No, it's not an element, it's an equipment. It is a... where is it? There it is. A dirty old headdress, increases your defense against magic. Can be worn by females. It's not that great, honestly. We won't be using it ourselves. But enough of that. We need to carry on with our playthrough. So we're going to go through this area here, and we're going to come to a little labyrinth of sorts. Do I sense something? Oh, you best believe we sense something. On top of the spirits you can see moving around, there is a little girl in a white dress and a blonde ponytail haircut. If you've played Chrono Trigger, you probably know who that is. So we could see a child, but Sprig and Harley could not. It doesn't matter who you bring. No one's going to see the child. Anyway, we're going to go up here. There is another treasure chest we can pick up. This one is a feather. And then if I head back down here... oh, let's avoid that enemy, because there is another version of that enemy I'm going to run into, which is this one, because this one's almost always blocking the way. This is a tragedy, and they come in groups of 4. They all have 380 HP, and they are innate red, and they have this rather annoying thing where they announce who they are. They announce their name, their age, and what element they're going to use. And they all have names. They all have names. So, the names are, in no particular order, Amanda, Andrea, Ariana, Carolina, Cynthia, Gemma, Jeraine, Love, Marianella, Mariana, Movil, Petra, Renata, Shannon, Tina, Valentini, and Richard. One of those things is not like the other. But yes, so they announce which one they're going to do, and then they do it. You cannot run away, you cannot respond to this, it's just annoying. You will just have to build a bridge and get over it. And some of the abilities can be brutal. Now when they say Cure Plus, when they talk about single target cure abilities, they will cast them on themselves. When the abilities they talk about are multi-target, they will cast them at you. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so what I want to do, shockingly, is I want to get Sprig involved, get her to level 5. She would not win this beauty contest, trust me. And we're going to doppelgang not into White Knight, but we're going to doppelgang into Lagoonate, because Lagoonate, remember, is Bluinate. Rather easy choice to make, to be quite honest. Will make our lives a lot easier. Now, with Harley, I'm going to do some 2s. because remember, Harley has access to a rather nifty Ice Blast +2, which we are going to use on the second Tragedienne. Look at that, one-shot it. Okay, Lagoonate, I just want Lagoonate to use a 3 attack, a fierce attack. Luckily, the Tragediennes, after their initial turn, they're quite slow. Ooh, Lagoonate didn't finish it off. That was kind of what we were looking for, to be quite honest. Nevertheless, Lynx is going to get in with a 2. And then I'm going to get Lynx to do 2 more 2s to push Lagunate's stamina to 6. And then we're going to spam some strong attack, fierce attack, sorry, to end the battle. Quite easy. But to be honest, some of the Tragedienne's opening attacks can be very fierce indeed. I'm going to use consumables to heal if I have to. I don't. Life is good. So if you do get into a battle with those Tragediennes and they announce some very nasty elements, you may be in a bit of trouble. We're going to go up here now. We picked up a Cure Plus. We want to pick up this sword, this prop sword. And then from there, we're going to head down. There's one more chest in this area. We will have to get past this Tragedienne. Nice. There's a heal all. Another one. And we will be using a few heal alls throughout this playthrough. Heal all is a really good ability, it has to be said. Okay. Time to come to another area with a lot of twisty paths. And if you look in the top left-hand corner, there is another character. Who could that be? Looks familiar. And even though we're in a building, it looks like there is another huge... well, it looks like a generator or a plane engine. I couldn't really tell you. Let me know what you think it is in the comment section below. But anyway, we need to climb some ladders, and there is a hidden chest over here. Just walk around here, spam A, and eventually you'll get a mithril. Time to head down. And there's one more chest in this area. We want to carry on going along this gangway here. And we get a seal all. Arf, arf. Yeah, we're not really going to be using that. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm just showing you where it is. Okay, with that done, this path can be quite a pain to get back on. You're just going to have to wiggle the analog stick a bit and hope for the best. Come on, there we go. Okay, time to make our way further up. Don't worry, we're nearly at the end. Wow. Well, not only does this place look absolutely destroyed, but it looks like these kind of these people were frozen in time. Oh, and there's a red-headed spiky boy. Who could that be? Anyway, if we try and talk to these people, you'll notice you can just phase in and out of them. You can't. You cannot talk to them. However, we want to go up here because there is another treasure chest. This one contains a diminish, but we don't really need it. We've already picked one up, but if you haven't picked up diminish yet, you can get one for free. And there's a little distortion over here that Spiky Redhead is going to also walk through. Again, remember, Sprig and Harley can't see these guys, but we can. So we have seen kid version of Chrono, Marl, and Luca from the original Chrono Trigger. Yeah, try talking, spamming the A button, nothing's happening. Nothing at all, I'm afraid. Okay, and we are going to come to this area, which is quite different from the rest of the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is full of clouds, however, there is a rather beautiful sunset here, and the time and space here, as Sprig quite rightly points out, is very different from the rest of the Dead Sea. Luckily, we can still use this distortion to get in and out. If you have played Chrono Trigger, you will be familiar with the Enertron. We can go into the Enertron and heal up. Hooray! Good job, us! HP restored, status abnormalities removed. But you're still hungry. I'm so glad they kept that in. So good. There's a record of fate if you need to save. I personally recommend that you do a safety save. Anyway, we're going to pick up this screwy dress. Of all the chests we pick up in this area, the screwy dress is by far the most important. Okay, I'm going to quickly walk over the record of fate so that we have a autosave. That's good enough for us. Okay, and it looks like Ghost Chrono, Ghost Luca, and Ghost Marl, or Marley. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be, because in the Japanese version, she's Nadia. And we get Hellbound, which is a nice black attack element. But we have our own strategy coming up here. And you may recognize this from the beginning of Chrono Trigger. AD 1000, Nadia's Bell. May our prayers for peace ring on for eternity. That's right, this is the Guardia Town Square. Except Nadia's Bell. Never heard. Everyone worked to save the planet's future for nothing. Well, yeah, apparently though it's all Lynx's fault. Or are they talking to Sarge? Who knows? What happened? What did Sarge do? Oh, they are talking to Sarge. Well, we know who the children are, but they're very angry at Sarge, and we don't know why. It's a distant echo from those long gone. It's just an illusion. Wait, Chrono, Marl, and Luca are all dead? Well, we know Luca's dead because the Lynx killed her, as was revealed by Lynx himself, accidentally. Time Crash Ground Zero. And this guy knows who Sarge is. And Miguel, a friend of your father. Yeah, that's right, he travelled with Wazuki to a rather strange place when Sarge was 3. And it looks like Miguel's been trapped here since 14 years ago. Yep, here we go. So there's Sarge on Wazuki's back. Miguel is also here. Miguel senses something is up, and then a voice from the distance. Summons Wazuki and Sarge. they're trapped by the storm. And Sarge will probably die if we don't do anything. If they don't do anything, sorry. But what happened? And why is Miguel still here 14 years later? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, it wasn't like this. So he would have been stuck here for 4 years, and then something happened 10 years ago, transformed the Sea of Eden into the Dead Sea. Yep, death will come for us all. How very morbid. Okay, thanks, Miguel. Keep it positive, mate. There's no one and nothing ages, so Miguel won't have aged at all in 14 years. Well, it doesn't look like his portrait changed at all, so that makes sense. A time and place that belongs to no one. Res nullius. This is a future that was eliminated. Ah, so this would have been changing 4 years ago, and then whatever happened 10 years ago eliminated a certain future, and so this is now stuck as it is. History is composed of choices and divergences. Okay, yep. And again, we've spoken about this before. Every choice you make, the theory is that every choice you make, a new dimension splits. And you eliminate a different future with the choices you didn't make. Yeah, that sounds about right. A future that was destroyed even before it was born rests here, condensed into the Dead Sea. Okay, so yeah, all the dead futures are here, basically, by the sounds of things. And, yeah, fate or destiny or whatever. No one can run from fate. And, yeah, Sarge Lynx was always going to end up here. And do we want to become one with this world? Do we want to be part of eternity? Let's accept. And, yeah, we can't just let ourselves die here. Yeah, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. So, like, yeah. We are trying to restore the dimensional distortion. That's what's going to help us get back to the other world. We need to get back to the other world, because that's where Sarge is, or Dark Sarge, or Lynx, or whatever you want to call it. So, Miguel is the representative of this place, which is stopping us from getting back to the other world, and we need to restore the distortion. Yeah, so it looks like we have to take Miguel out. And fate must take its course. One of the hardest boss fights in the entire game. The good news is that Miguel follows a set pattern. 1950 hit points, 6 action points. This guy's very fast. White innate. So how are we going to beat this guy? Well, we're going to open up with Sprig hitting a bunch of ones. We had to put in a 6th one there because she missed one. Okay, so Miguel will always open up with anti-black. We hope really that it hits Sprig, so that when Sprig changes into the White Knight, which is what we're going to do now, we get rid of the anti-black. However, didn't happen, so we're going to have to find a way of dealing with Lynx unable to use black elements. But we will find a way. We always do. Okay, with Lynx, I now just want to get one hit in so we can do a bit of stamina pushing onto White Knight. And then with Harley, we are going to hit 4 times. Now, if Harley is the one that's anti-blacked, you want to stamina push with Lynx 3 times. It will make sense in a bit. Okay, and now what we want to do was defend with everyone until Miguel uses his next move, which is strong-minded, which will increase his magic defense. The good news is that we're not going to use any magic really to kill this guy. Okay, the reason why we pushed 1 stamina is because we want to use strength on White Knight. And it's at this point where we would start looking at trying to use Blackout with Lynx on Harley if Harley was anti-blacked, however she's not. So instead I'm just going to start attacking. I'm just going to use Harley to use Diminish -2. And then with White Knight, we're going to start using some 3s. Look at that, 337. Nice crit, 505. Miguel's next turn will be Weak-Minded, using Weak-Minded on Harley. And whoever he uses Weak-Minded on, he's immediately going to follow that up with a Holy Dragon Sword. That will do 200 damage. That's an awful lot. Okay, now that that's done, we want to go back to Lynx. Going to do a 1-2-2. If you had to use anti-black to get rid of that on Harley, then you would instead be doing the 1-2 on Harley. Okay, back to the White Knight. I now want to do a 1-3. We do a 2-3 normally, but because we got a crit, we're doing a 1-3 instead. Now with Lynx, we're going to do what we normally do is we do a 1-1-2 into Glide Hook. However, because he's anti-blacked, we're going to do a 1-2-2 instead. And now with White Knight, we're going to do a 3-3. And that should be enough damage. If you are unfortunate, if this takes a bit longer, Miguel's next turn will be a multi-target white spell. That can spell a lot of trouble. At that stage, you are just trying to push as much damage as possible, and whoever ends up dying from that attack, you'll just have to live with them not getting the stat increases. It is what it is. But we win. We're going to get strength. We're going to get nothing with Sprig, and strength and resistance, strength and magic. Sorry, with Harley. That 31 strength from Lynx is really good. We don't need to worry about using consumables. And we also get the Dreamer's Bandana as a reward. A really good spoil. What that does is whoever's equipped with it will start the battle with 1 element level. And it does stack, so if you have 2 Dreamer's Bandanas equipped, you will start with 2 element levels. Well, that particular character will start with 2 element levels, and yes, we will be exploiting that. So, with us taking down Miguel, sorry. You can tell I live in Montreal, can't you? Now that we have killed Miguel, we might have the power to defeat Fate and build a new future for humanity. But why is Fate capitalized? The Dead Sea is the true form of this planet's future. Yeah. But it's a dead future, so what's going on? So yes, to summarize Chrono Trigger events, in 1999 Lavos awoke after centuries of feeding off the planet. Not centuries, thousands of millennia. Literally 65,001,999 years. That's exactly what he does. Yep, we are aware of this. He would feast on the planet. And then we actually saw this in Chrono Trigger, and Chrono and his group of adventurer friends would defeat Lavos. They were quite lucky. They managed to get to the 2300 AD, saw what happened 301 years prior to that, and were able to stop it. So, very interestingly, when they defeated Lavos, similar to what happened in this game, one future died and another future was created. And that's what this game's about. This game is about futures dying and new ones being created. But what happens to previous futures? Try and keep up. Yeah, so possibilities died, new possibilities were created, but the possibilities that died didn't necessarily go away. And yes, so they killed that future, but someone or something is trying to restore the Lavos future. Because, yeah, someone or something is not happy about that future going away. And Sarge is the trigger for this. But how is Sarge the trigger? What is going on? Yep, and as Miguel quite rightly stated, innocent people are just being dragged into this. And yeah, which is exactly why Miguel finds himself in the dead situation he finds himself in now. Okay, so yeah, 3 years ago, members of the Acacia Dragoons from Termina visited here. This would be General Viper and his men. So the frozen flame they thought was here in the Dead Sea, and only one person can approach the flame. Who is that one person? And it looks like fate has made its decision. And the events that we're trying to transpire aren't allowed to happen yet. Wow. This lost future is about to disappear into the darkness beyond the dimensions again. So we have perhaps killed this one future for good. What? Wow. But who is saying that? Well, time to leave. And it appears that the frozen flame has chosen Sarge. But why Sarge? What was the event that triggered Sarge as the choice? And yeah, in case you haven't clicked onto it, or in case you haven't figured it out, Miguel is Lena's dad. I believe Marge mentions it at first, but in case you've forgotten. So we have killed our probably current girlfriend's father. I'm sure she'll be fine with that. No negative repercussions from that whatsoever. Well, we're not going to make it, but luckily, Deus Ex Machina gets involved and a massive white dragon saves the day. And just like that, the Dead Sea is gone. Yeah, why did the big white dragon help us? Oh, Sky Dragon, sorry. And it turns out the Sky Dragon wants to see exactly what is happening. And saved us so that he can see how it will play out. Very, very kind of him. And now, looks like we need to make our way to the Sea of Eden. So we need to speak with the ancient dragon gods. Ooh. When all the powers of the sleeping dragons are brought together, this part of the Sea of Eden will open. Okay. Looks like we need to do some dragon hunting. What is this, Skyrim? Okay, so, as mentioned, now that we've defeated Miguel, the dimensional distortion has reappeared, which means we can make our way back to where our other party members are, which means we need to go to Opasa Beach. I mean, we could go to Opasa Beach, or we could end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. When we return, we've got some other things that we need to do, but I'll save that for another time. Thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed this. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye bye.